Senate Concurrent Resolution recognizing the unveiling of the statue of Sarah Winnemucca in the National Statuary Hall in the United States Capitol in Washington, D.C., and celebrating the unveiling of a replica of the statue at the Nevada State Capitol in Carson City. Whereas, in 1864, Congress established a National Statuary Hall in the Old Hall of the House of Representatives in the United States Capitol and authorized each state to contribute 2 statues that represent important historical figures of that state to the National Statuary Hall. And whereas, in 2001, the Nevada legislature approved a bill providing for a creation of a statue of Sarah Winnemucca for placement in the National Statuary Hall collection located in the United States Capitol in Washington, D.C., and provided for the designation of a committee to select an artist to create the statue and approve its design. And whereas Nevada's First Lady, Dima Gwynn, served as honorary chair of the Sarah Winnemucca Selection Committee and also spearheaded efforts by the Nevada Women's History Project to raise the funds necessary for completing and placing the original statue in the United States Capitol and a full-size replica of the statue in the Nevada State Capitol in Carson City. And whereas the Nevada Department of Cultural Affairs provided administrative support for the project, ensuring that all funds raised were spent on the creation, transportation, documentation, and placement of the statues. And whereas Sarah Winnemucca, born near Nevada's Humboldt River in about 1844, was the daughter of Chief Winnemucca and the granddaughter of formidable Chief Truckee of the Northern Paiute tribe, who led John C. Fremont and his men across the Great Basin to California. And whereas Sarah Winnemucca's life was filled with remarkable achievements, including serving as an interpreter for the United States Army and the Bureau of Indian Affairs, serving as a scout, peacemaker, and interpreter during the Bannock War of 1878, becoming the first Native American woman to write and publish a book, and establishing non-governmental schools for Paiute children that became a model for future educational facilities for Native American youth. And whereas, as a tireless spokeswoman for Native Americans, Sarah Winnemucca was an advocate for the rights of people throughout the United States and even brought her message before President Rutherford B. Hayes and the Congress of the United States. And whereas, in fighting for justice, peace, and equality for all persons, Sarah Winnemucca represented the highest ideals of America. And whereas Sarah Winnemucca's wisdom, activism, and determination made an invaluable and enduring contribution to the political and cultural history of Nevada. And whereas on March 9, 2005, a 6'4" bronze statue of Sarah Winnemucca, sculpted by artist Benjamin Victor, was unveiled in the rotunda of the United States Capitol before a delegation of state and national officials and hundreds of Nevadans. And whereas today, April 6, 2005, a full-size replica of Sarah Winnemucca's statue representing Nevada in the United States Capitol is being unveiled at the Nevada State Capitol in Carson City. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Senate of the State of Nevada, the Assembly concurring, that the Nevada Legislature is hereby proud to recognize the unveiling of the statue of Sarah Winnemucca and its inclusion in the National Statuary Hall collection at the United States Capitol in Washington, D.C. And be it further resolved that the Nevada Legislature is honored to celebrate the unveiling of a full-size replica of Sarah Winnemucca's statue at the Nevada State Capitol in Carson City, which will serve to memorialize her lifetime of accomplishments and signify her position as a distinguished citizen of this state. And be it further resolved that the Secretary of the Senate prepare and transmit a copy of this resolution to Governor Kenny Gwynn and Nevada's First Lady, Dima Gwynn, to each member of the Nevada Congressional Delegation, to Scott Cisco, Interim Director of the Department of Cultural Affairs, and Joan M. Lemur, State President of Nevada Women's History Project, and to artist and sculptor Benjamin Victor. End of resolution.
Mr. Carpenter.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move for the adoption of SCR 16.
Mr. Carpenter has moved for the adoption of Senate Concurrent Resolution Number 16. Remarks?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Order business 15.
Order business 15.
I think that we all need to strive for the ideals of of Sarah Winnemucca to not have anything in our heart that would not be proper. We need to have the ideals that we're all created equal, to teach you to always treat everyone with respect and to do the best we can for our fellow man. Living and growing up in rural Nevada, Native Americans have always been my friends. In school, they were my classmates. We played together in basketball and football. And later on in my adult life, Native Americans have always been my friends, my employees, and officials that I've had to work with in our day-to-day lives as we try to improve things for all of us. I'd just like to mention 3 or 4 that have had a great influence on my life. There was J.V. Walker. J.V. Walker was one of the greatest high school athletes during the 1940s. J.V. Walker paid the ultimate sacrifice in the Korean War. George Adams worked for my uncles. He was a world champion bronc rider. And then there's Annette Kavanaugh, who was raised in poverty in the reservation in Oahe, but who went on to be and is now our superintendent of the schools in Elko. So I think that we all have to recognize the great work of Sarah Winnemucca and the great understanding that she had and all of the things that she had to put up to try to better her people. And thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Carpenter. Further remarks? Mr. Anderson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I wish to rise in support of the resolution. I think this is a resolution that, and recognition, that has long been wanting. While we've taken up the cause of Ms. Winnemucca in proposing this in the past, I think that it is most fitting that this statue graced the nation's capital as a representative of the spirit and long indebtedness that this state owes to the Native people of our state. These first Americans, as we really should recognize, are the people who have allowed our society to infringe upon it. And Ms. Winnemucca's contribution at a critical time period in our history is emblematic of the way this particular Native groups have helped us survive in this otherwise desolate state. It is their caring and understanding that had really made it possible for us to survive again and again. And for that contribution, in recognizing Ms. Winnemucca and the Native inhabitants of our state, I think that this is an honor long overdue. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Anderson. Further remarks? All those in favor of adopting Senate Concurrent Resolution Number 16, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Are there any opposed? Motion carries and the resolution is adopted. In order to the Senate. Order Business 15 for Mr. Carpenter.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Before I present the resolution to Benjamin Victor, I would like to recite to the people in this assembly a few of his accomplishments. Victor, who's the artist that won the commission to sculpt the Sarah Winnemucca statue, And I must say that he beat out our R-Elko native, Sarah Sweetwater. We were disappointed at that, but after seeing Victor and his family here, and seeing the statue, I think it was a good choice. But we always need to remember that if it hadn't have been for Sarah Sweetwater there to give him a little push and make him do better, he might not have won it. So we need to remember that. As I said, Benjamin, he won the commission to sculpture the Sarah Winnemucca statues, a monumental representation of the state of Nevada's addition to the National Statuary Hall in Washington, D.C. last month. And he's the youngest artist to have ever received such an honor. Right now, Benjamin is residing in Aberdeen, South Dakota, where he's now, I believe, on the staff of the Northern State University. And Benjamin has completed or been commissioned to complete 14 assignments during his young life of 25 years. He's just 1/3 of what I am. Benjamin is married and has 2 children who are with us today. His wife Julie and children Caleb and Audrey, and they're just kind of like my grandchildren. They want to keep them moving, and I know that they're going to do great things when they grow up here. I also want to present to you Benjamin Victor, who is the sculptor of this great statue. And please, I want to give him a great assembly welcome. I present to you Benjamin Victor. Also his children and his wife, please stand. And Benjamin, it gives me great pleasure to give you this resolution for your great accomplishments at such a young age, and hopefully you'll keep up the good work and always remember your friends in Nevada. Thank you.
Thank you.
While we're under order of business 15, let's go ahead and introduce the rest of our guests before we get to second reading.